Hello, everybody. Well, that's not how we start.
No.
I now call this meeting of the Amateur Detective Club to order. My name is Tristan Miller, the Saucy Sleuth.
I'm Melissa Meli, the spy.
I'm Tyler Riley, cop and a half.
What is this energy we've brought into the podcast today?
Sleepy silly? That's what I am.
Yeah, the opposite of the Enola Holmes review. Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. You just go to audibletrial.com/adcpod and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download Title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/adcpod.
So just for, the fact that this is an actual advertisement, there's no H in Audible. It's just Audible.
Yeah, like the word.
Like the word.
Like the word. Yeah.
But can you imagine like a section of Audible called Audible?
That's like
where
all...
it's just like the non-safe for work, like erotica.
Yeah.
It's spelled
like all audio.
HAWTIBLE.
Yes.
A subsidiary.
Audible, we know you listen. Can you cut us our check now?
Not only the trials that I know all of you are doing because we're always trying to support the podcast, but also for this new idea, this new IP.
Audible.
I'm still listening to Junkyard Planet about recycling. I have not made much progress on it. I don't know if there's an audiobook version of a book that I actually physically read with my human boy eyes. But it's called Nothing to See Here, which is about a governess who has to take care of two young children that spontaneously combust when they become upset. It's really good. I just finished it yesterday. Shout out to Hattie Hayes, who bought the book for me. She liked it that much and liked me that much that she got me a book.
That sounds fun.
It's a really beautiful and really funny book.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Don't know if there's an audiobook version. Let me check.
While you're checking, Melissa, have you ever done that? Or Tristan, as you look, I'm sure you can answer as well. I'm sure you can multitask. Have you done that where like you've read something that moved you in such a way that you went out and purchased like an additional copy for someone else, or for the express purpose of having like a copy to pass around to others?
Yeah.
What was the book?
Know that I have.
The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. Great book.
Oh.
I also, as you know, having been the recipient of this many times, will give away books that I no longer wish to see. Or if I finish a book, more likely than buying an extra copy, I will finish a book and then give it away. And then if I really want it again, I'll just buy it again.
Fair.
So, yeah. By the way, it is on Audible. I'll let Melissa answer more thoroughly if she would like.
I have let people borrow books as I have gotten excited about them, but it hasn't happened recently.
That makes sense. Here's a sample from Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson.
Cover them with sunscreen, just a shockingly ridiculous amount, even though I couldn't imagine that the sun would hurt them. And we would run to the pool and cannonball into the water. We played Marco Polo for hours, our fingertips so wrinkled that it seemed like permanent damage had been done.
There you go. It is it's very interesting. It's from the perspective of a young woman. There's a lot of class stuff in it. It's all very interesting.
I'm going to write that down. Nothing to See Here.
Yes, Nothing to See Here. Just go to audibletrial.com/adcpod and get your free version of that wonderful book today.
Speaking of today.
You can do it right now while you're listening.
I was going to transition. Speaking of today we are covering, good one, the episode of Agatha Christie's Poirot, season 5, episode 8.
The finale.
The finale. Jewel Robbery at the Grand Metropolitan.
Possibly the longest title we have yet encountered
Yeah.
on this series. It's based off of a short story or a book?
I think so. I think it's based off of a short story.
I believe it's
This
a short
cannot
story.
possibly be a book. It's not that intricate.
I don't know. They
I thought
play
you were gonna say
around.
something else.
Jewel.
We're finding out. Today is the research edition of Amateur Detective Club.
A little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. You get to hear us Google. Do 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 do.
I will say, as this is happening, there were a lot of like different variants on the theme in different ways this episode.
Oh.
Like, I know we usually get like variety, but like this was like, they are really trying to make it sound a bit different.
Yeah. We've already covered it, so if you go back into our feed, Melissa and I have already covered this short story. You can find it in the Poirot Investigates collection of short stories.
I think I do have some memory of that. They definitely added lots of,
They added a lot.
yeah,
Because as I recall, our review was like 11 minutes.
probably. Sounds
was
about
like-
right.
Back when we were doing things a little differently. Tyler, have you ever bought a book to give to somebody else?
I have. I've done it actually 3 times.
Okay.
I did it first for Push by Sapphire when I read that in high school. I did it for Rosie Perez's autobiography, A Handbook for an Unpredictable Life. And for V.E. Schwab's Vicious.
Oh. I keep hearing about V.E. Schwab. Seems like something I should read.
Incredible. I literally read Vicious in one sitting. I could not put it down.
Oh, wow. Oh, here's a crazy thing I did once. When I was in high school, I took a short story and, oh God, this is so embarrassing. I'm still embarrassed about it, and this was many years ago. A short story I liked, I hand wrote it and gave it to someone.
Aw.
Did you
Yeah.
write the short story
I like
yourself,
that.
or did you copy it?
No, I copied it out of. I didn't.
Oh.
I wasn't plagiarizing it. I just gave them a handwritten version of it.
Just Little House on the Prairie style. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I am. God, I'm getting embarrassed thinking about
no,
this.
that's so cute. What are you talking about? That's adorable.
That is really cute.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. Oh, 16-year-old Melissa.
That's very cute. Oh. I've never done that because I can't read or write.
That's true.
It's true. Thanks for backing me up on that. That's what's known in improv terms as a confirmation.
Yes,
Yes.
and this episode opens up in a movie theater.
It's not. Is it a movie theater or is it like a conference room with a movie screen?
Okay, it might be that.
Because
I know that a movie is playing on a film reel.
it was so strange because I thought it was a movie theater, and then when it was revealed, when they pushed back a little bit, I was like, "What? Where are we?" It was very odd. Yes, and we're watching the movie Salome, which the gentleman commenting on it refers to as Salome.
That sounds correct.
I love it in a sandwich.
Yeah.
British people don't know how to say anything. Sorry, British people that are listening.
Or
Oh,
maybe
boy.
y'all don't know how to say things properly.
I still say to this day aluminium. Because
Yeah.
I heard it enough.
What do you make your hats out of? Thank you very much.
Tinfoil.
Yeah, Tristan, who possibly of the three of us uses the most unique pronunciations.
That's truly
Coming-
a kind way.
Coming at everyone, all of our British listeners, of which
Yeah.
we have many.
Yeah, that is
So-
true. I do say quagmire instead of quagmire because the first time I heard the word, it was quagmire. So I'm like, that's how you say that word.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Well, they
About
put a
that.
quag in your wheel, didn't it?
Oh, what? That sounds nasty.
Like cog in
yeah,
the
no,
wheel?
I know, but that sounds like you're talking about something else, Tyler.
It does.
Well, you crazy.
Quasi cupcakes.
That just sounds like Elmer Fudd.
Be very, very quiet. I'm stuck in a quagmire. Actually, can you go get me some help?
Yeah. Yes. So he's screening this, and we see that this actress has this big old string of pearls on. And so then the man steps into the film, into the way of the projector, and starts talking about these crazy, expensive, valuable, very fancy pearls. And he's bought them for his wife. And she is going to wear them in a play. And everyone's really impressed.
They're formerly pearls of the Tsar.
Yeah.
They're some sort of Tsar pearls.
It's
It was a gift to the actress that was in the film,
Yeah.
right?
yes.
And
And
then
his
they've
wife,
purchased them.
right. And so his
For
wife,
300,000 francs.
yep. And so his wife then comes out wearing them, and everyone's really impressed, and they're
It's all
talking
very
about the
Price is
play.
Right.
It's a wild rich people thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because no poor person would ever be like, hey, you know what I have?
Yeah.
I've situated a TV so you couldn't see it from the window. Like,
yeah.
come on,
I
man.
do love this scene because a reporter stands up and asks a question.
Yes.
And they play it for laughs, but I was like, this is legit.
Mm-hmm.
A reporter asks, don't the pearls get stolen in the course of this play?
Uh-huh.
And the guy laughs off. I was like, well, good thing that this is only a play. Or something along those lines. I was like, you're an idiot.
Yep.
Yeah. Truly just setting yourself up.
Because I once did a show where somebody decided to use real money, their real money,
No.
for like prop money.
No.
And of course it went missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a whole to do. It was like, who allowed you to do this? The director.
Actors are immoral.
I was doing an outdoor show, one of the ones that I was producing in the first year, and the director gave me a prop to use that was sentimental to them. And as I was transporting on, because we actually did this one in New Jersey, as I was transporting on the PATH train, one of my baskets of things went missing. I was carrying too much stuff and I missed it.
Oh, man.
The director was very understanding about it. She was like, I shouldn't have done that. This kind of stuff happens. It's, don't worry about it. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I felt real bad. So,
Of course.
yeah.
I just want to say, Tyler, I'm the one that took the money.
Well, Melissa, we finally got him. This whole podcast has been
There
a
you
long
go.
setup.
It's a setup.
Yeah,
It's confessed. We got you on recording.
Yeah, we're all wearing a wire.
we are. We are. We're all wired up.
So this guy's like, I got jewels aplenty, and no one's gonna. They're pearls, and no one's gonna steal these. And I'm a play producer, and the play's going up in a couple of days.
Yep.
And then we go to the office of Poirot, and he is being seen by a doctor. And the doctor he goes, what is the prognosis, doctor? And he's like, well, basically, you've overworked yourself, Poirot. You gotta calm down. You're suffering from exhaustion. And he's like, I don't believe in that. And Miss Lemon is like, yes.
It's so good. It's so good. And so the doctor recommends that he takes a trip out and, you know, a nice relaxing trip out into the country or whatever. Yes. So it's so fun. I love Poirot sick because he's so dramatic about it. Like,
you gotta love it when Papa is sick.
When Papa is sick, the mice will play.
that's the phrase.
They happen to go to the same place as the play
Yeah.
is being produced. And people keep coming up to Poirot saying he's, what is the name of this?
Lucky Len.
Lucky Len.
You're Lucky Len of the Daily Echo, and I would like my 10 guinea.
Yes. And Poirot is like, because initially he's like, you're in the paper, aren't you? This guy comes up to him, he's like, yes, you may have seen me in the paper.
Yep.
That's right. And he's like, yeah. And then he doesn't understand. And Hastings quite patiently explains, like, well, it's a game that you play in the newspaper.
Yeah, they have the picture of this person. The Lucky Len is the guy that you find on the street. It's like a real live game of Where's Waldo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you get money.
Yeah, 10 guineas.
But yes, so two people have now mistook him for Lucky Len. And he's starting to get put out by it. So they're sitting out on the shore or whatever at a restaurant, and the producers of the show that bragged about their pearls, the guy swings by their table and says, oh, Inspector Poirot, hello, it's nice to see you. Please come to our opening night of our show. And and you got to see these pearls. They're super good. He is accompanied by a young woman who's like assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she is carrying them around. And she's like in charge of keeping them safe.
So nerve-wracking.
And she goes to, he asked her to open the box so he can show off to Poirot these pearls, only to discover that she doesn't have the key. What is his last? It's like Opal Weimer or Opal something.
I believe it's Opalson.
Is it really that simple?
Yes.
I believe so.
All right.
And then also, that's a nice, like, opal.
Yeah.
Jewel.
Also a precious gem or whatever.
But she can't open it because Mrs. Opalson has the key, and there's only one key to open the box where the pearls are.
Yes.
And Poirot asked, oh, so you have her walk these by herself to the theater? He's like, oh, no, my driver, Cecil, or something or other.
Sanders.
Yes. Saunders?
Saunders.
Saunders,
Yes,
yeah,
Saunders.
like the name under which Winnie the Pooh resides.
Yes.
So Poirot says, you know what? Hastings and I will go walk with her over to the theater.
I would like to point something out about this play. It is also a mystery play. And so Mr. Opalson is like, oh, the world's greatest detective is going to see. He's like, are you going to try and solve it? And Poirot is like, probably not.
Yeah, sometimes I just like to take in a play.
Yeah, it's like, no.
And as they are going through the lobby, we see this man with a very ornate cane. And it looks like it's in the shape of an elephant. The
hotel
handle
lobby.
of this. Yes. Sorry,
Yes.
thank you for clarifying.
And the handle of this cane, definitely has tusks of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Walks up to the front desk, and we never see this person's face. Or we don't see this person's face at this point, anyhow. Mm-hmm. Walks up, the hotel clerk says, oh, Mr. Worthington, room 113. He collects his things and goes about his business.
Goes up the stairs He's a very old gentleman. He walks with a cane, bit of a limp. And that actually happens before they meet up with Mr. Opelson, because then they escort her to the theater.
Yeah, I was just trying to save us from having to go back.
100%. I appreciate that. Always coming in. It's like Memento up in here.
Always. Yeah.
They get to the theater, and there's a man getting the crap kicked out of him
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
with
Right.
a Boy Meets World haircut.
Looks like a Will
I'd
Friedle.
Ryder Strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a Will Friedle or a Ryder Strong
Oh, yeah.
haircut.
And the two hooligans that are roughing him up is like, well, you better get the money. Yeah, you gotta get the money. It's to us, because you owe us the money.
Yes, and the young assistant, whose name is Celestine, is very concerned about this young man, and his name is Andrew Hall, and it turns out it's her boyfriend.
And
And
he's
he's the playwright as well, right?
correct.
Yes, and her boyfriend. So he's a bit of a gambler, so he gets himself in trouble, is what we find out.
He does not know when to hold him. He does not know when to fold him. He does
Indeed.
not know when to walk away or when to run.
Well, he knows when to
Does he
run.
know?
Yeah, because he owes people money.
Yeah, he's got to know when to run. That's
Yeah, for sure.
He's gonna-
100%.
He knows how to walk briskly into a crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
As
There
we'll
you
see
go.
later.
A little foreshadowing for you. So Poirot and Hastings see the play. The pearls come on stage. They're very they're very pearl-like and pearlescent.
Someone stands up and goes, "Can you believe an oyster crap that out?"
They should have. So, yeah, the play is over, and then we see a series of vignettes, like small little scenes.
As there's an
And-
after party.
Yeah. And then we find out that the pearls have gone missing.
Bum, bum, bum.
But how? They're so careful, and they have this very weird, intricate set of fail-safes for the pearls' security. There's just how would that possibly have happened? So immediately, of course, because she is the one who holds the pearls, Celestine is suspected, as is her boyfriend,
Yes.
Andrew Hall.
Celestine, more like Philistine, am I right?
Yeah.
I also want to point out at the party we do learn that the producer is broke. He only had one successful play, and it was a revival. And so he's really riding on this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. The house. Sorry, and then the only two people that were with the pearls on that night, which was kept in a drawer, were Celestine, and then also the hotel maid, whatever, housekeeping.
Her name is Grace.
Thank you.
And yes, and Celestine is the one who actually discovers that the pearls are gone by opening the box, and because the box is still there. So the
'Cause
box,
the box is
didn't,
still there.
Yeah, the box is still in its place. So, ostensibly the box is locked, so you wouldn't necessarily think, oh no, the pearls are gone because the box is still there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't steal the whole box. So,
Very clever.
Poirot is itching to take up the case, and Hastings reminds him of his health. And Poirot says, "Oh, I guess I can't get in on this one. I'm just gonna stay by the shore and do some
Hastings.
relaxing."
I am so mad horny for this case. I cannot help myself.
Yep.
Um,
And
Papa, stay horny.
I do like it when you call me Big Papa. But at one point as well, you know who shows up. You know him. You love him.
just Jap. Ah.
What their sandwiches like? There's a nice tidy end to the whole business.
It's
James
Inspector Jap.
Inspector Japp.
James Japp shows up on the case and he starts interviewing people. And he's like, "Oh, Poirot, aren't you going to help me?" And he's like, "I can't."
Yeah, and then approximately 30 seconds later.
After getting recognized again as Lucky Len. And he's like, "Screw this."
Yeah. And Hastings says, "Oh, well, Miss Lemon, when she arrives, is going to be mighty disappointed in you." And I do not care, essentially. And basically, it's as if he has, a blanket over him, but he's fully... This is not how it actually happens. But you know the trope. You have a blanket over you in bed, and then something happens, and... you toss the blanket off, and it reveals you're fully clothed, and he springs out of... Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Equivalent to that. So he's on the case. He's investigating. He knows what to do. He's Poirot.
It is literally his job, yeah.
And so, yes, they are looking at Andrew Hall. And because he's got money troubles, and he's the boyfriend of Celestine, who had the box and was entrusted with the care of them. And so they're going to the racetrack, to the races. And so they start kind of following him. And he is trying to get away.
Yes, and apparently he only makes bets with the same bookie each time, and his name is Harry Wax.
Yeah. You'll love to see it.
It's just,
You'll
of
love
all the names.
to hear
Oh,
a
ew.
funny name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. It's like the opening to Shrek where he makes a candle out of his earwax.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I remember seeing that in the theater, and I turned to my mom and was like, "Can you really do that?" She's like, "I suppose, but please don't try."
Yeah.
But he's just got a big load of cashola. He's just won it big on this horse that he bet on.
Yeah. So
Insert the Guys and Dolls musical number here.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do, this guy says the horse can do.
yes. So he is running away when he realizes he's being pursued, and they eventually catch up with him.
And Hastings also sees Mr. Worthing
Yes.
at this point.
And Andrew Hall they finally catch up with him, and he just says, "Listen, of course I'm running away. I owe a lot of people money.
Yeah.
What do you think? I didn't see you. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know what this was about. I didn't take the necklace. This is just about my gambling habit."
And then when they brought him in, the boys said, "Oh, this is quite the haul."
Oh, yeah. Hey, you drew that very quickly from your mind. So in my mind, the movie Andrew Hall is in is like an Uncut Gem style.
Oh my god.
Just like level of chaotic. Like he has several bets going, and he's just really messed up. Point of interest: the person that told them where to find Andrew was Saunders, the
driver.
The driver.
The chauffeur.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Poirot noticed that he had like a powder on his sleeve.
Yes. And he
So-
And
noticed.
chauffeur, he hasn't been up to much.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so initially, also Poirot was like, the drawer that the diamonds, the pearls were stolen is like, dang, this one slides out real nice, huh? This other one, sticky as crap. It's Hastings. Why do you think that is? And
Right.
Hastings like, I don't know, Poirot.
And is it about at this point that Hastings and Japp go to the fair where
yes,
where they're playing?
best scene.
Yes, where they're
Possibly
playing
ever.
like guess the amount of marbles in this box and shoot the little duckies and win a prize kind of games.
Yeah.
That kind of fair. And Inspector Japp wins a teddy bear, and he's just walking around with this teddy bear, and it's so cute. And who is it? Is it Celestine or Grace that comes
It's
up
Grace.
to them? It's Grace. Grace comes up to them, and he says, "Oh, Inspector, you got a teddy bear. Is that for your son?" And you see Japp's eyes like go, yes. It's for my son.
Yes, that's right. A son I absolutely have.
Yep. Not this isn't just for me. It's not my teddy bear. That's right.
Very sweet. But she tells them something important.
Yeah, probably. That's the only thing I got from that scene is the teddy bear.
Tyler, do you remember the information she relays?
Was it... Who sees Andrew Hall outside the hotel? Is that her?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yes, that is
Okay.
it.
This
We
might have
solved
been
it.
this might have been a slightly earlier scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, she reveals that she had seen Andrew Hall outside the hotel the night that the pearls went missing.
Yes.
By the way, there is an intercut scene at some point in here where you see a hand that looks like a female hand, I'm pretty sure, take the pearls and put them in a vase, like put them down in a vase in a actually pretty darn cool shot,
yeah.
like from the inside of the vase.
And then also during the this scene with the teddy bear, it cuts to a balcony and we see the hand gripping the elephant cane.
Great. So, pretty quickly, Poirot figures it out, right?
Well, so it seems, yes, because he does come to Japp and he goes, "What if it's fraud as well as
That's
theft?"
right. Mm-hmm.
And Japp's like, what an interesting proposal. And then he goes, well, who do you think would have done it? And then, of course, it cuts to the producer being arrested. And he's like, don't you know you make more money with a flop than a hit? This is outrageous. And they arrest him and let the other two go. And
Yeah,
then...
they're essentially saying that he would have defrauded for the insurance money.
Yes. Because he's down on his luck.
Right. And Miss Lemon has arrived in town
Yes, after doing some research for...
for Poirot.
Yeah.
And she comes in and they go to see the play again. And someone asks Poirot, like, you're coming to see the play again. Are you looking for something? And he says, no, Miss Lemon has not yet seen it. And it's like during the play and she turns around and shushes them.
She like
I love
fully
it.
swats him.
Yeah.
And it's very good. It's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I'm watching the play.
Yeah.
I just want to take in some theater. Jeez.
Yeah. Which is also very nice of Poirot. I think it was very genuine. Also, Japp is really into it. He hasn't seen the play, and he's like, it's a beautiful shot because they're in a booth. And so, like, Miss Lemon's closest to the stage on the left, on our left, her right. So it's Miss Lemon, Poirot, then Hastings far in the back, and then Japp in between Poirot and Hastings, leaning around, trying to see the play.
And I think that really speaks to the relevancy of theater. No matter what walk of life you're from, theater is for everyone.
That's right.
And organizations like TDF will be here when Broadway comes back.
Yes, yes. Oh, they will.
Oh,
Thank goodness.
Shameless plug. TDF.org.
That's right.
all one word.
Like so many websites are.
TDF, all one acronym. .org. Is this where we should take a break?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I guess I could have saved the TDF plug for then, but
That's okay.
Yeah.
2 spaces. Just kidding.
This is the break. Let's just take a moment. Take a little break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Just take a moment.
Take a little nap.
If you like this show, what's wrong with you? If you like this show, you may consider other shows on the network we are on called the Scavengers Network. You can go to scavengersnetwork.com. They have plenty of great opportunities to laugh.
There's
there.
also, I'm going to interject real quick because it is spooky season and they have lots of spooky podcasts.
They do. They do. They have one literally called Spooky Spouses.
Yes.
And one about ghost adventures. Mm-hmm. And another one that is escaping me right now.
But there's plenty of them.
I want to address something personal.
Okay.
I don't get Halloween. I don't understand it. We did not celebrate it growing up. We did, however, celebrate Reformation Day because we were Lutherans. So in my mind, October is not spooky. It is about this class inequality.
I mean, and that isn't class inequality really what Halloween is all about?
Isn't class inequality truly what's haunting the American public? So you can go to scavengersnetwork.com. You can go to scavengersnetwork.com. Check out all their great stuff. They also had a bunch of merch drop this month. Ooh. So if you want to check out that, speaking of, you can also go to my personal Teespring. It's in the show notes, and get some mugs, some shirts. A shirt that says "Horny for Murder" that I've been meaning to order for myself. Because,
that'll really get
on.
you noticed on the street.
Yeah. Quickly arrested.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I got to tell you today. Don't get Halloween. God bless you. If you do like it, please don't trick or treat. And if you do, do it safely and don't do it at all.
Buy your own candy and watch some scary movies.
Yeah.
Or throw hard candies out of your window at children.
Yeah, I forgot about that. National pastime.
Yeah, put on a costume and sit in your living room. There's a pandemic.
I put on a costume every day, and that's of a happy person. So sorry.
That got
Oh, boy.
made myself laugh.
if you.
I was like, where are you going with this skin suit scenario?
I also. I'm so sorry. That gave me so much joy. Which is great. I'm sorry you had to hear me laugh so much. That was also something I wanted to address. On the Twitter, I said during the Enola Holmes review, there were 2 secrets that I revealed about myself accidentally. And if you want to tweet at me at Tristan J. Miller 1 to guess which ones they were, they both cause me terrible shame. But anyway.
We don't even know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. So I have to go back and listen to see if I can find them. Find those secrets. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
what are your guesses? Now that we're in this space.
Okay. I don't I remember anything that we...
Yeah, you were three in the hole that night.
Listen, 3 is a perfectly manageable amount of drinks for me.
I know. Having gone out with you several times, Melissa, I know. You enjoy a wonderful glass of wine, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's
good
right.
For the heart.
Mm-hmm. And I just never remember anything that we said after we say it.
Fair.
Sorry, what did you say?
Exactly. So we're on social media, if you can believe it. At ADC Pod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Go on and give us a follow. And we will post episodes, of course, and then we post other fun content that you don't want to miss. So ADC at ADC Pod across those social media platforms.
Yeah, I made up a couple of pictures from last week.
Yeah,
some memes.
Truly
Patron.
delightful. Mm-hmm.
Patron. A person who gives financial or other support to a person, organization, cause, or activity. Oh, sorry. We are talking about our Patreon. That is patreon.com, where you can be a patron of Patreon and support us. Patreon.com/ADCpod. For as low as $1 a month, you can receive access to bonus episodes and content of Amateur Detective Club. Be sure to visit patreon.com/ADCpod to view all membership levels and begin being a patron of ADC today.
And you can finally understand what we're talking about when we reference David on the podcast.
Yeah. David. Also, I recently made public the review we had of who ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Tyler put in
on 20 years.
Yeah, it's been 20 years since the mystery. And Tyler put in an unreasonable amount of effort putting together a playlist that I also have linked in the show notes of that post on Patreon, which is now available to the public. So you can go, if you're a wrestling fan, you can go there and watch that and then maybe throw us a buck or two.
Yes, indeed. And I know that there is a Venn diagram with podcast listeners and wrestling fans. And that they
yes.
do intersect.
It's almost just a circle. Back to the show. So, as always, because, like, he made that arrest, and I was like, we have 12 minutes. That's not the actual person that did it.
No, indeed.
And so Poirot, they end up at the theater.
Well, they just stayed after the performance.
Yes. And Hastings.
Which was quite rude, first of all.
Yes, it's very inconvenient, but, you know, they are solving a crime, so I suppose we can give it to that one.
Fine.
And a little earlier on, Celestine had said something about Oscar Wilde, because wasn't the other play that they did Lady Windermere's Fan?
It was The Importance of Being Earnest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he says, was it Lady Windermere's Fan? And then he corrects himself, right, to it was The Importance of Being Earnest. And
Yes.
Poirot's like, that's it! And she's like, Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And
Is-
Much like Roscoe when he discovered chicken and waffles.
so that also is referred to in the at the party where it's like the last one was a flop. No, I'm sorry, the last successful one was a revival, and that is the successful revival.
Yes. Importance of Being Earnest. Everyone loves that play. Everyone. 100%
Yeah,
of people.
Tyler, what was that? Were you casting some shade or?
No, I was literally clearing my throat. I thought I was quiet. I was not.
So yeah, he's like, Gadzooks, and then that's when he sends for Miss Lemon. Blah 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 blah. So they stay after the show, which you don't do.
No.
Don't
No,
do.
front of house wants to leave.
Yeah,
They-
get out of a theater after you see a play.
Yes, even if you have like backstage passes or you're meeting with one of the actors, go like, let's go to a pub nearby and chill there.
That is
Or better
literally
yet,
what
save
bars
money
are for.
and stay go home after the show. Go home and save money. Invite him back to your place.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to Timothy Oliphant and go, hey, man, loved you in this.
Because when I think of theater actors, Timothy Oliphant.
Listen, man, I made a joke about him recently. He's on my
No, I
brain.
No, that is completely fair.
Okay.
A lot of people that you would not consider to be actors of the stage do acting on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's done a play at least once in his
I'm
life.
gonna ask David Allen Greer, Tony nominee.
Yeah.
Yes, for the show that we covered, also Blair Underwood. That show got 7 nominations.
Yeah. It
As well
did.
it should have.
Including Best Revival.
So, they're after the show, they're hanging out backstage, they're creeping around, and basically everyone's like, I don't get it, Poirot. And then Poirot explains it.
Poirot says that Mr. Saunders was also masquerading as Mr. Worthing, and Grace, the maid, is his wife and his accomplice. So she, while Celestine was out of the room, took the necklace out of the box and she took the box and put it in like the other room, where he very quickly had the key and took it out of the box and grabbed it so she could get the box back in the drawer so that it wouldn't look like the pearls had gone missing. So he hid it for a little while, and then later, after it was discovered that the pearls had been stolen, she went ahead and put it in that vase. And so the two of them are summarily arrested, and Hastings says, but what about the actual necklace? And he says, let me see if I'm thinking correctly. It is in, and pulls out the necklace out of the vase.
And then we get the best scene on the face of the planet.
So good.
Poirot goes up to someone and says, you are Lucky Len of the Daily, and I demand my 10 guineas. And he says, I'm not him anymore. I was too recognizable. And it cuts over, and he looks exactly like Poirot.
He's wearing the same mustache.
And hat and everything else.
Yes. And he says, I guess I just, don't have a good enough face for it. And Poirot says, no, mon ami, you have the best face. You have a distinguished, excellent face, the best face ever.
Yeah.
And
Then they both tip their hats to each other in unison, and then it's credits, and it's perfect.
it's so fun. It's really
very
cute. Yes.
So I would love to see those two performers in a adaptation of Face Off.
That would be quite the trip. As those characters, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what did we think of this one?
I give it a 2.5.
Oh.
Okay.
For me, it was just a lot, and I didn't always care, I guess is the best way that I can say it. I will say that I was fooled. I definitely thought that the wife had something to do with it, the wife of Opelson. Mostly because anytime that we see her interact with the box, she's the one opening the box with her key.
Yes.
But when she returned for the night, she asked Celestine to open it. And I was like, oh, she already knows they're gone. But nope, that was not the case. She was very much surprised because she had no idea what was happening. I loved the Lucky Len bits. But yeah, overall, the episode just didn't do it for me as a closer.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly doesn't feel like, the season finale of anything as we think about it in America, especially, where we're so used to, cliffhangers like The Best of Both Worlds Part 1 or whatever, at the end of a season. But I'm going to rate it quite a bit higher. This is probably my favorite episode in which no one dies, I think. And I thought it was really well executed. I thought that the filler bits that they put into this short story really worked. Like the whole premise of him going to recover from exhaustion and, have a vacation. And the Lucky Len thing was very cute. And, the moment with Japp and the teddy bear is pure television gold. And I thought it was really, really clean for me. Easy to follow. And I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
I'll give it a 4 as well. It is I think the tricky bit of business is the fact that it is not easy to recount, because there's a lot of twists and turns. But while you're watching it, it makes sense. At least to me, I could follow it. All the humor is very, very solid. I think the characters are very strong in this one, and all the performances are very strong. It is not as good as the previous episode that we watched, which we all loved, which was great. But what I'll say is that it is absolutely an exemplary episode of Poirot, of it being based off of a short story and being an adaptation. And you get a lot of really nice character moments. Over this last season, I've really fallen in love with Japp for whatever reason. I love a working man's detective. But yeah, I think all of the stuff with him being sick, I think the way when he rips off the fake mustache off of Mr. Saunders is straight out of Scooby-Doo. Like,
oh yeah,
there's like a lot of it's a pretty corny episode, but I really enjoy it. And I also, we always have a good time when they involve the theater in any way.
That's true.
And yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. I did, since I remembered the short story. I didn't remember exactly what happened, but I was not surprised, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's straightforward.
Because I was like, oh, right, because I remembered it as soon as they said it. I am looking forward to the TV movies, because over the last season, like I said, I'm like, okay, there's 12 minutes, and here's the finale twist. And hopefully with the different run time, it'll catch me a little bit more off guard. But yeah, I enjoyed it pretty well. I specifically enjoyed the jokes. You know me. I love it when these characters are allowed to be funny.
Absolutely. So next week, we're moving on to the first episode of season 6.
Yes.
And yes.
Are we?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
What's the?
It is Hercule Poirot's Christmas.
Oh.
So we're a couple months early.
Which is why I asked.
I know, but
Never early enough for Christmas.
right. But we hadn't, just to give you a peek behind the curtain, hadn't discussed doing something else, so we're doing it.
Fair.
Also coming up, I mean, I thought about bringing that up before, but we just took a break with Enola Holmes, so I want to keep doing Poirot for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And also coming up, we're going to be discussing the graphic novel Bury the Lead, written by Gabby Dunn, with the author Gabby Dunn.
That'll be super cool.
Yeah, it'll be very fun. I have to go find a physical copy in the world, because if I were to order it, it would not come in time.
Yeah.
So there's that. But you can look forward to that. So if you're sick of Poirot, we will have both a guest and also a different thing to discuss very soon. And if you're not sick of Poirot, good news.
Next week, Hercule Poirot's Christmas, which is season 6, episode 1. The tyrannical patriarch of a dysfunctional but wealthy family summons his adult children for a Christmas reunion, but prior to the holiday, his throat is slashed apparently by one of them. Whoa. And it aired originally on December 25th, 1994.
You love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With that, I now call this meeting of the Amateur Detective Club to a close.
Gavel sound.
Oh.
Oh.